Today, there's a big problem in enterprise content publishing. Content creation is very siloed, disconnected, and often ad hoc or totally accidental. It's either not managed or, in some cases, it's actively mismanaged. The repetition, waste, and lack of standards results in a massive friction all across creating, managing, and delivering content. In this environment, this disconnected world, it's simply impossible to enact an organization-wide content strategy. In other episodes, we've already covered the content services organization. That's the chartered function within enterprises that has the ultimate responsibility for the content supply chain. The CSO carries out the content strategy. Content strategy in a vacuum doesn't do anything. The CSO can do a lot, but not without a plan. In this episode, we're going to take a look at how organizations can start addressing the systematic problems in the creation and management of content by implementing a content orchestration model, a deliberate, designed plan for all content workflows. The CSO itself is defined formally within the content orchestration model and charged with enacting this plan. Together, we'll take a look at a real-world example where the content supply chain totally breaks down. And we'll take a look at how implementing a content orchestration model addresses the very root of those issues. It's important because the problems are currently costing organizations and the larger economy billions of dollars, and it affects everyone. There's hope. Let's open up the invisible world. So, let's say you're a teacher. What if you showed up in your classroom to teach for the first day with no syllabus, no calendar, no textbooks, and no real preparation? Would that be easier or harder to teach that class than if you had those things? Of course, it'd be easier. Even if you're a genius, it's better to have a playbook, to think things out, to orchestrate the parts and the pieces, to plan ahead. Having a COM is basically the same thing. It's an operating plan for content. The CSO is the primary internal organization responsible for implementing and maintaining the ongoing rhythms of the content orchestration model and applying the core principles of content intelligence. By having a chartered group with the objective to smooth the process of content from idea through omnichannel delivery, we can make the progress of improving all the points on the content supply chain manifest in a step-by-step process. Content ops can't dig out of this hole immediately, but it can make incremental progress to analyzing and improving all the points of friction across the content supply chain. A uses the content intelligence framework to help clients build standards by which they orchestrate content across the larger portfolios. This lets content teams have structure and semantic standards that connect content through all the different parts of its lifecycle and its infrastructure. We help clients design the written content orchestration models that form a playbook for roles, rhythms, systems, and processes. All the things that teams need in order to roll out to confront the complexity and smooth out the connections between the different parts of the supply chain, adding in automation, machine learning, and integration wherever possible. Starting with a content orchestration model, we aim to lay the groundwork for a new way of working with the knowledge assets within an enterprise so that they can become part of an integrated whole, paired in the service-oriented environment from a core content set that everyone shares with the rest of the enterprise and external partners and customers as needed in a content as a service environment. It's impossible to do things the old way. Modular connected content cannot happen by accident. It must happen through the intentional application of effort in a practical way. It's true, larger enterprises have a lot more to gain by implementing a CSO function. Since the current issues facing enterprise scale teams are massive and very complex, when they charter a CSO and partner with experts and put real investment, millions of dollars of ROI eventually turns into billions of dollars of market value impact. There's a lot on the line. But even though that scale is impossible to reproduce for small organizations, it still makes sense to care about content and be intentional about managing it at any scale. Siloed departments, mid-sized businesses, nonprofits, anyone that cares about content should consider instituting a content orchestration model and the essential CSO functions. Is the role of the COM making more sense? And can you believe that most organizations don't have one already? That's okay. We've been kind of hypnotized by the old way of doing things. It's gotten busier and busier, and most organizations haven't even just gotten around to changing anything yet. Who can even keep up with all the things we have to do to deliver content day to day? But it's time. By introducing a content orchestration model as part of a CSO, organizations benefit from so many things. A playbook with defined roles for running the day-to-day functions around content. A defined content supply chain that clearly illustrates the process for authoring, enrichment, management, and delivery, and all the roles that run it. The standards for structure and semantics, including a master content model and a master semantic model. This is what really helps tie all the content systems together. Quality procedures and systems for managing content. Teams are better when they have the tools and processes that help quality but don't get in the way of smooth workflows. Define sets of digital policies that protect the organization, reduce risk, and keep everybody on the same page. Reviews within workflows that align strategy with delivery, ensure policy compliance, and make sure that there's adherence to standards as content gets produced. I hope this episode has sparked your curiosity and illustrated how intelligent content transformations lead to incredible business efficiency and value through improving and evolving the way that teams produce and manage content. Check out all of our other episodes on content operations, content engineering, content strategy, and the content services organization. Plus, related episodes on the master content model, the master semantic model, and future discussions on putting the content orchestration model into practice. Please like and share if you found this episode helpful. Subscribe and click on the bell icon to keep up with the latest episodes as we continue to explore this invisible world. Until we meet again, let's take one step at a time towards a smarter world.